What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now. I'm Alex, and in this video, I want to talk about Crash Team Rumble. I felt it was time to talk about it, and, obviously the game's not out yet. I think we know enough for now, or enough to kind of start to talk about it, but, over the coming months, I imagine we're going to get some deep dives, and I'm going to be covering it, all that kind of stuff I'll be covering on this channel. But I really wanted to talk about the backlash that this game has gotten, because it really has gotten it, and it makes me sad, but at the same time, I understand it. So I think I'd maybe come at this a little bit differently than maybe what you would see on YouTube from other people. So where I stand on it is this. This is definitely not a Crash game that anybody asked for, okay? I think whether you like the idea, hate the idea, whatever side, I think a lot of us can agree that nobody asked for this. Not a single soul. I believe, one of the fringe minority that asked for Crash Bash, like a Crash Bash remake or some sort of spiritual successor. Now you could say because this is multiplayer, that was a party game, not really multiplayer. I think a Crash Bash in modern day would have multiplayer. So, if you squint really hard with your eyes, maybe you can imagine this being some sort of weird Crash Bash spiritual successor. But I do think it's fair to say nobody really wanted it. Now, that's not to say, because that happens all the time in the gaming industry, when games just come out of absolutely nowhere. Well, did we necessarily want them or even think of them? No, but that doesn't make them garbage. That doesn't mean that automatically people are going to hate them. But then you take the next step, and that's probably what makes me sad about this, right? Is whenever they post things, and they actually just posted a tweet a few days ago. It was a little while back. It does seem like they're starting to do a little bit of, marketing for this game on their Twitter account at least. And the comments on Twitter really probably paint like the biggest picture of how people feel. These are, in my opinion, in a way, kind of the diehards, right? These are the people that follow the account. It doesn't get too much engagement. Like, these posts get like 3,000 likes. That's pretty okay, but it's not like incredible or anything. Gets like 100 to 200 replies. Again, nothing insane. So I do think these are people that, well, at least go out of their way a little bit to interact, to respond. And what you find when you look at it is just people not into it. I don't think it's necessarily people that despise it, and that's probably where I stand as well. You see comments that have hundreds of likes that talk about, I wish we knew what this game was, or we still don't even know what this game is right now. You have people saying, like, this just isn't it. Like, this is not a Crash game that I can get excited for. And you just see so much of that. Now, to be fair, right, this is a very different kind of game. And you could also probably imagine it could be a game, maybe, right, that could attract a different audience for Crash. To be honest with you, maybe that's the plan, right? There's been back and forth rumors of how Crash 4 actually performed. I love Crash 4. I think Crash 4 was about it had flaws. Specifically, I know a lot of people had problems with, like, the platinum, right? The quest to get everything or to perfect the game was literally insane. So I understand that. As the first attempt to bring Crash back again in the modern day without remakes, right? Besides the remakes, I think Crash 4 was incredible. And it's actually very disappointing, very saddening that if you believe the side that says, the game didn't sell well, that sucks. So, if you're Activision, what do? Well, you look maybe to this live service approach. Now, the thing is, I believe this is a full price game. This game is probably going to come out and be at least 60. I don't know. Is full price $70 nowadays? Because a lot of companies raise the prices. But even if it's 60, right? 60 or 70, you pay a lot of money for it. And then, is it meant to be a game that's just... I know I've seen videos talk about, like, would there be a single-player mode? I don't know. They never said anything, right? That's the issue with, like, lack of details. Maybe, but if not, and this is just like a full-on multiplayer thing, well, factually, that's not a game that a lot of Crash fans, I think, would play, whatever, right? You're dealing with the group now. Well, maybe not, because you do have Crash Team Racing, and that is a multiplayer, heavy kind of game. But I don't think that game necessarily blew the world up, with its money and its active player base and stuff. I think it was popular enough, and I'd like to see a 2 for Crash Team Racing. But a game like this, I just don't know how many actual Crash fans are going to be into it. And I truly believe the answer is going to be not that many. So then the only other side of it is maybe they're going for people that are just not really into Crash, but maybe they're into this genre of multiplayer and hoping to convert them in some way. It's tough. It's tough, but I did want to make this video because it sucks in a way. It sucks in a way. It also maybe it's like deserved, right? And that's, again, where I think I kind of lie maybe a little bit differently. Like, I'm not here to shill Crash Bandicoot and just love everything. I will say, like, I am moderately interested in this game. I will most likely play it. And it's also an awkward spot because does the success of this game matter in the future? If this game were to fail, and say Crash 4 didn't do well, you have 2 in a row, does that mean Crash is done? How much of Crash's future relies on this game? And that's where, like, the awkwardness comes in, because it's like, well, I think we want Crash to be alive past this game. We want to see what they can do, but we don't really want it. So, like, do we have to play it? Because if we don't buy it, are we sending the message that we don't want this kind of Crash game? Or are we sending the message that we don't want a Crash? Do you see what I'm doing there? I really think that's kind of important, because I don't know how in touch these executives are. What are you promoting? Are you promoting Crash? Or are you promoting the genre? We don't want it to go this way. We want it to go that way. Or are you saying to them, Crash is just not, a thing anymore? That's what's really scary. In my opinion, in my honest opinion, that's very, very scary to me, because I don't know what message would be sent either way. Either way, because if you support it, you're saying, well, we want more Crash games. Well, you could be saying, though, you want more of these multiplayer kind of games. So you better be careful. You know what I mean? And it's odd. But you also do see, again, online, and that's really what made me want to make this video. People are not into it. And people, I don't think we're really into it for the Game Awards thing. I don't think people are really into it now. I think at best, to be honest with you, like the most diehard Crash fans, I think at best of where they're at now is they'll buy it almost out of like reluctancy just to like support the franchise of Crash. Now, I'm not going to speak for like every person on planet Earth, but that's the sense that I get from looking around on YouTube, on Twitter, on all that stuff. That's just the kind of signs I get. That's at best. At worst, it's literally people saying like, I'm not doing it. I'm skipping out on this Crash game. And again, in some ways that could be a very positive thing, because you're saying, well, we don't want multiplayer, but maybe you're sending the message now that you don't want Crash. And that's a very odd place that we're all in right now. So let me know. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Are you into it? Are you not? Make sure you guys are subscribed, bell icon turned on so you know when all these videos go up. I hope to see you all on the next one.